Hello everyone. I just wanted to make a quick video real quick. And yes, I have Resident Evil 2 in the background to fit the setting a little bit. Um, but in this video I just wanted to talk about, you know, how Resident Evil 7 and 8, especially Resident Evil 8, kind of changed the perspective. Well, let me reword that in a way. I'm just going to talk about how Resident Evil 8 changed the perspective of Resident Evil 7, because I feel like after Resident Evil 8 came out, Resident Evil 7 feels like a brand new game, because now Resident Evil 7 has a lot more theories built up on it because of Resident Evil 8. And I feel like with the theories that are in Resident Evil 7 from Resident Evil 8, I had more theories for Resident Evil 8, if you catch my drift. You know what I'm saying? Because there was that intertwine of like Ethan being dead this whole time. I think that's what caused all this, because Ethan being dead this whole time just explains everything in a way, but you know, adds a list of theories that kind of like new theories in a way, if you catch my drift. You know what I'm saying? Like Ethan being dead. Like, what if the Baker incident? Like, what if Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 8 really happened, but kind of didn't happen at the same time? You know what I'm saying? If you catch my drift. You know what I'm saying? But what if the events in Resident Evil 8, because I feel like the events in Resident Evil 7 and 8 affect the future of Resident Evil a lot, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy, man. It's because I feel like Ethan really isn't a full-on dead, if you catch my drift. Because, spoiler alert, by the way, at the end of Resident Evil 8, Ethan dies. He's fully dead. I think everybody is following this theory of Ethan really not being dead, because I feel like it's true in a way. I just feel like Ethan isn't dead, but I feel like when he blew up the Mega Mycete, it took the mold out of his body. If you get what I'm saying, it took the virus out of his body. It took the mold out of his body. So now he's just a regular human now. Like, he's normal now. He gets his arm cut off, he can't pour water on it and get his arm back. Once his arm is off, it's off. Like that type of human. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like he blew up the Mega Mycete, faked his death, or he didn't fake his death, but his body was too busy adjusting to the virus being out of his body that it took him a bunch of years to restabilize himself. So I feel like with Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 8, in the further series of Resident Evil, there's gonna be a lot more threats. And I feel like Chris has a major part in this, because he has been in both games. But I feel like Resident Evil 7 Chris is not Chris. I feel like Resident Evil 7 Chris is Hunk. And that's been a theory since 1975, dude. But him being, because if you put 2 and 2 together, Resident Evil 7's Chris is working for Blue Umbrella. Resident Evil 8 Chris has his own little goon squad. And they don't, and I feel like Capcom wouldn't change Chris's design back to back like they did. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like Resident Evil 7 Chris doesn't look like Chris. But Resident Evil 8 Chris looks like Chris. Like that's what Chris looks like in my eyes of Chris Redfield. So I feel like Resident Evil 7 Chris is, I have a theory about this. I've never heard this one before, but I feel like Resident Evil 7 Chris is not even Chris. It's either Hunk, because he says Redfield. So I feel like, because Resident Evil is 25 years at this point. So I feel like Capcom didn't bring this up, but I feel like that's Chris's son. Think about it. He's 25 years old. He's working. His dad, aka Chris Redfield, has told him stories about Umbrella and all the horror stories. So there's two ways this could go out. It's either Chris's son, created Blue Umbrella to revive Umbrella and continue on the criminalization of the company and continue to make viruses and all that, or he created. It's gonna sound cliche, but blue is for the good guys, red is for the bad guys. He wanted to rebuild Umbrella, but make them good. You know what I'm saying? Continue to heal people with their pharmaceutical shit. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of theories about this. Or he can just even be Chris and they just redesigned him back to back. But I do stand by my two theories of him either being Hunk or him being Chris's son. So I feel like Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 8 is shaping the future of further Resident Evil games. So I feel like Resident Evil 9 or Resident Evil 10 are going to be the last Resident Evil games, mainline titles, but I'll make a whole separate video on that. So I do feel like Resident Evil 9 and Resident Evil 10 are going to continue on with the Ethan storyline, but Ethan's going to be his own side character, but there's going to be a new main character, or they're going to do what they did with Resident Evil 6 and, you know, make it multiple character choices, but have like the whole roster of Resident Evil and make it this like big final game. But that'll be in a whole different video. But like I said, Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 8, in my opinion, kind of had some of the more impactful scenarios of the Resident Evil series due to the fact of Chris being heavily involved with the stories. So there's something serious more going down. So I feel like Resident Evil will continue on off of this certain point because how influential this seems to be. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, and see you guys later in the next video. Peace out.